Hey guys, it's Anna, and today I'm actually really excited because I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of my favorite authors. I'm just going to be talking about gushing over my favorite authors, my favorite books, and just how I draw inspiration from them in my own works. But before we get onto the video, I really hope you guys subscribe to my channel because I feel like this writing community on here has just like grown so much, and we are getting so many new writerly besties. So definitely just subscribe and share with your writer friends. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on to my favorite authors. So I have a few books that I want to talk about today. I'm so excited. I barely get to talk about books because none of my friends are writers, readers. They're not real people. But first up, I wanted to talk about C.S. Lewis. I actually haven't read all of his books, mostly just the Narnia Chronicles. You guys would probably know this is like all of them. I remember getting this from like a Lifeline, and it literally being like $2, and I was able to read like all the books from the Narnia Chronicles, and I adored them. I think he's just such a big inspiration because from a young age, becoming a writer now has just kind of really inspired me to write fantasy, and it just helped me escape, you know, my reality, and kind of made me fall in love initially with writing, and of course writing fantasy specifically. I also think it's such a big inspiration that he's a Christian, and a lot of his motifs and sort of elements within his stories are kind of inspired from the Bible and like Christianity. And since I am a Christian and I want to try to, you know, honor God through my work, he's always just been such a big inspiration. And one of his quotes in particular like made me feel, it just makes me feel so happy. I believe in Christianity as I believe the sun has risen, not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else. So I just love like number one, like who he is as a person and as a Christian, but also number two as a writer, and how it's possible to honor God through writing. So yeah, that's the first author I'm in love with. Next up is MXTX. If you guys don't know, she is a Chinese author. If you guys didn't know, I'm actually quarter Chinese, and she's a Chinese author. I fell in love with her writing, her books, just her freaking storytelling. It's just beautiful. If you guys don't know Heaven Official's Blessing, it is an anime, and that's how I kind of got exposed to her wonderful world. But a lot of her works are kind of inspired by Chinese culture and religion, and just being able to get in touch with like my own, you know, Chinese culture, it just makes me so freaking happy. But overall, if I wasn't even interested in like Chinese culture, these books, they just make me want to cry because it's just so beautiful. And if you guys didn't know, I am a big sucker for romances, and mostly a lot of her works is like romances, but like her world building makes me want to cry. Like, oh my goodness, she has spent so much time crafting this world, and just like all of her series are so different. She has like 3 main ones. This one's like my favorite apart from Heaven Official's Blessing, and I think especially this book has inspired me so much because it's just made me realize the intricacy of writing and of making a plot and a story and the meaning of those stories. This book in particular is basically a story within a story, and I adore those books. Like a story about reading, like, oh, if you guys have not read any of MXTX's books, the next one shouldn't come as a surprise, but it is Leigh Bardugo. I actually did do a video of me trying to write like Leigh Bardugo for a day, so if you haven't watched that, definitely look in the iCard because it was such a fun video, and I was just so blown away by the way she plots. So that's the reason I love Leigh Bardugo, because her plotting is immaculate, and it's something I really draw inspiration from. The whole idea of the heist in this book is truly like the best thing I've ever read, like ever, and this book definitely deserves all the hype it gets. And though I love like the way that she writes her characters, her chapters, her description, just like her plot building has majorly been something that I've just fallen completely in love with. So yeah, Leigh Bardugo, I love her. Next up, I have Tolkien. I love Tolkien so much. Of course, he is author of The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, the absolute master of fantasy writing. Because he's awesome. If you haven't read or at least watched The Hobbit, please do. The film work is so good. But The Hobbit has just been such a huge impact on my life. Just the story in general, the characters, the whole fantasy elements. I just think it's just, you know, I just put it on such a big pedestal because it deserves it. And the way that I just like want my stories to be as good as this, it probably never will be, but like just like having that here and how it can fit such a big world in such a short book is truly amazing. I just don't know what to say about him. So just read the books, watch the movies, do everything you can to appreciate this amazing world. Next up we have awesome Cassie Clare. If you guys don't know Cassie Clare, what are you doing? I fell in love with her stories like ages ago when I started to read, and like yeah, she's just an amazing writer. Even though her actual writing isn't too amazing, I love how simple it is and how easy it is to read, because a lot of stories such as like The Hobbit or even Les Bardugo's work, it does require a lot of cognitive like effort to read, but her books are literally like, oh, like I feel like I'm not even reading. That's how amazing her writing is, and I really want that to like happen in my books, to the point where like my readers just are so immersed in the story and the writing's like really descriptive and really fun and cool, but just like so easy to understand and imagine. That's like such an important part. She is the queen of tropes. The whole love triangle, I think she did it the best in her Infernal Devices series. If you have not read the Infernal Devices, go read it. But here I have Chain of Gold, her Chain of Roses, no, Chain of Thorns. I forgot. What's this series called? What's it called? The Last Hours. Okay. Oh wait, it's right there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so, but I've read these books. They're amazing, but definitely don't come close to the Infernal Devices. Look at all my tabs. Oh my gosh. See, she's the queen of characters, I feel like, and that's why I draw a lot of like my character development. Like it's inspired by Cassandra Clare, because Cassie Clare is the queen of characters, and oh, I just love her work. And last but definitely not least, we have Laini Taylor. I don't even know what that expression was, but Laini Taylor, Stranger Dreamer. Look, I got this beautiful hardcover. Do you see this? Do you guys see this? Her writing makes me actually want to cry. I'm not kidding, because most of the authors I kind of mentioned have like world building, or they have like really good characters, or they have like such good plot and like heist ideas, but like she has everything. I'm not kidding. Laini Taylor truly is my favorite author of all time, and the reason I fell in love with her was nothing but this book. This book that got me into reading, got me fully into writing. This book truly just did everything for me, and I'm here for it. I live for it. That's why I had to get her in an amazing hardcover, which was like $40–50, but I don't care. It was worth it. Like, her writing is art. That's how I can, like, that's all I can explain it as, just like literal art. I also really love the way that she actually ends her chapters. Her stories, her characters, her plot building, the names she comes up with, the amazing just like world she sets her characters in truly is just like, oh, an inspiration. Like, I can't even describe it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm just so obsessed. As a writer, as a reader, as a consumer, as a person, as a woman. Yeah, I know this video was super long and I'm so sorry, but oh my god, but just talking about my favorite authors really does just make me so happy, and I just like love them, and they're the reasons I want to keep writing. Not to like have a huge following on Goodreads or to have my book published and like millions of people seeing it, but like to write a story like theirs that is so fully complete and beautiful and undescribable. That's exactly how I want to try to write, and I hope this video was maybe inspiring to you, and it would truly mean the world if you guys maybe comment down below some of your favorite authors so I can go and fangirl with you guys down there. But yeah, I hope to see you in my next video. Make sure you keep writing, and I hope to see you later. Bye besties.
You, people